what is the deal? What is popping, man? What's popping? Get my headphones on. Hold up real quick, man. We'll let a few people join in. I'm hoping the notifications went out and everything's smooth. I didn't get the notification myself, so I'm hoping y'all actually get the notification. Because I have not. Okay, say I'm live, but I didn't get the notification. Okay, I just got it. Alright. I'm going to let a few of y'all get in the room, and I hope y'all doing all right. This is some interesting news. Not necessarily surprising news, but certainly interesting. You know what I'm saying? Certainly interesting. Especially, with some of the things that kind of heard about Herb and his group this past off season. And if you look at the timing of that contract extension, there really was no reason for them to give Herb this extension this early. And there really was no reason for Herb to take the extension this early, pause, until, unless something, was going on. You know what I'm saying? Ethan, what's up with you, my dog? Yeah, man. We had a couple interesting Pelicans tidbits that happened today. We're gonna talk about a couple of them. Go through a couple. One being with Brett Siegel, who I'm trying to get on the show, and another one with Kevin O'Connor, who I don't think he would come on the show, but you never know. But I don't think he would join the show, but you never know. Lee, what's happening with your homie? You got the notification? Okay, good. I'm happy about that, man. Let me make sure my audio right. Nope, I can't hear nothing. Damn it. I can't hear nothing. Let me see if I can hear it on this one.
Real quick before
Yeah, I can hear it on this one. So give me 1 second. We're going to try to do it like this then, because we definitely need to hear this audio for Kevin O'Connor when he spoke about Herb Jones. Spectacular, what's happening with your homie? I'm just chilling. You know how I go. Just chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a night off for us. But we're going to talk about some of these Pelicans things, and this kind of affects the entire NBA as well when you consider the relationship with to the Los Angeles Lakers. So you got Herb Jones. Whoa, Michael Morgan, what's happening? Tennessee, what's up, dog? What's up with your Tennessee? What's up, man? Welcome aboard. But yeah, you got Herb Jones' rumored interest in joining the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, truthfully, look, man, we saw Herb Jones missed all them games, and he came back particularly for the Los Angeles Lakers, and now we know why. Now it looks like we know why. So I got to cue it up here. Let's see if the audio is better here. Let's see if the audio is working here. This is Yahoo.
What's next?
Can y'all hear?
Herb Jones to the Lakers.
Yeah, I thought about this one.
Yeah. This one, it's not quite a layup, but it...
Can y'all hear this? Let me know if y'all can hear this and y'all can see me. Can y'all hear this and can y'all hear and see Cheddar Chaz? Because this is very interesting. And look, Tennessee, to your point, Wealthy Few was happening with your homie. Look, appreciate y'all for sure. Look, and to your point, Tennessee, when the one game bro came back, he was terrible. 3 points, twisted his ankle again. It just was terrible in the fourth quarter. It's just, oh my God. But let's just go through this.
What's next?
Herb Jones to the Lakers.
Yeah, I thought about this one.
Yeah. This one, it's not quite a layup, but it definitely, there's interest there, I'd say, on both sides, the Herb Jones side and the Lakers side. Herb Jones really isn't playing basketball right now.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of indications that he would like a move, or his camp would like a move to a contending team, and the Lakers are looking for a 3-and-D wing. I reported on my podcast earlier today how they're dangling their 2032 first-round draft pick to teams, similar to the Suns were a year ago when the Suns traded their 2031 first for 3 first-round picks in 25, 27, and 29. The Lakers are trying to do a similar thing with their 2032 pick for either 2 or 3
Now, that's a lot more difficult to do, considering, like, with the Suns, rumors of their demise were a lot more tangible because Kevin Durant was hurt. There was rumors that Devin Booker could be leaving. The whole Bradley Beal fiasco, Tyus Jones, the Royce O'Neal thing didn't really work out. You had just lost Ayton. You just moved on from, what's homie name, man? Chris Paul. So rumors of their demise was a bit more tangible. So that pick looked a bit more attractive. It kind of still looks attractive. Whereas the Lakers got Luka kind of locked in. Austin Reeves has been really good. But we'll see. And if the Pelicans would have any interest in those picks, it's going to be closer than 2031, 32, or what have you. Because, again, Joe Dumars is in his 60s. They ready to build right now. They not waiting on 2030, whatever. It's just not going to happen. Shout out to Dev. Shout out to Nola Golf. Shout out to Mr. JT Price JP. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that like button, man. I appreciate all y'all. Man.
First than theirs in order to have more draft capital. And the belief is that the Lakers are going to try to use those picks and packaged with Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt or Maxi Kleba to go out and get some 3-and-D wings to surround Luka. And so Herb Jones, I think, would be near the top of the list in terms of affordability and game fit in a Luka Doncic future roster.
That's
I don't know, son. That does not sound like an awesome package deal, in my opinion. That don't sound great to me. I'm gonna just be real with you. That don't sound great to me. Jay, you say, is there a reason why audio is always so low on your channel? I'm watching Buku and Cushion live right now. It's literally 5 times as loud. I used to have to have my headphones. I'm not sure, bro. That's something I have to look into. I'm not quite sure. Trey, what up with you, fam? X say, if they want a 3-and-D wing, why they want her? Well, they probably look at the last 2 years as, him having injuries, and people always feel like, well, that's the Pelicans. One of the only benefits the Pelicans have is that they've been so bad historically with player development and maximizing talent that teams typically view them from the standpoint of, well, that just happened with them. When that guy gets here, he's going to be better. Now, whether that's true or not is an entirely different story, because I don't feel like that's necessarily true. But also, Gabe Vincent, Vanderbilt, Kleber, and it depends, right? For me, I just want Austin Reeves. Now, I know you're probably not getting Austin Reeves for Herb Jones. Probably not going to happen. I'm hoping Austin Reeves wants to leave just as much as Rich Paul wants him to leave. But it's probably not going to happen, right? Oh, thank you, Spectacular. Yeah, man, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Shut it live. I appreciate everybody tapping in with me. Shout out to everybody in the building. That's probably not going to happen, right? Now, based on some of the things I heard this offseason, there's several guys who really want it to work in New Orleans, right? Trey Murphy really wants it to work in New Orleans. But it fucking may or may not work, just to be real. Now, whoa, what's good, Louisiana Gal? How you doing? Now, to Michael Morgan's point, whoa, what up with you, Trey? To Michael Morgan's point, it's like that deal kind of sucks, but think about it from this standpoint. It's like, if I could get 2 or 3, if I get 2 firsts, do I really care what player talent comes with the contract? Now, that's really the question. Sebastian, what's happening with you, bro? Now, that's really the question, right? If I can get 2 firsts for Herb Jones, do I care about the player talent that comes with the contract? Because to me, it all depends on how you perceive the contract, right? Whoa, what's that with your Dev? It depends on how you perceive the contract, right? Like, in my opinion, I think Herb is on a bad contract. When Herb turns 29 years old, that contract is going to go up to roughly $19, $20 million a year. Herb is arguably overpaid right now. He's not overpaid for the work he's done prior, to the deal being extended. Well, let me rephrase that. When Herb first got that extension with the $14 million, $15 million, or what have you on his current contract, he's lived up to it from making all defense. That he lived up to it. This new extension, this most recent extension, is an overpay. And it's not going to age well, in my opinion. That contract is only good if you're on a championship caliber team. Otherwise, you can't afford to be paying non-shooting, non-rebounding role players $20 million a year if you're going to be on a fringe playoff team. I just don't think that's realistic. I don't think that's the best use of your resources, right? So the question ultimately becomes, does the front office view that as a negative based on Herb's most recent performance. Because I'm sure they ain't getting what they thought they paid for this offseason. Right? I'm sure they're not getting it. If Herb Jones was a free agent right now, I don't think anyone's paying him $20 million a year. And when he's a free agent at 29 years old, he damn sure ain't getting $20 million a year. It just ain't gonna happen. Let me see here. Another thing, looking at this Bucks game, the Bucks need to desperately find a way to get Zach LaVine. Not that Zach LaVine would save their season, but they need help desperately. A 3-team deal involving the Pelicans, Kings, and Bucks seems like it could be on the table, in my opinion. You know, DeJounte wants to go back to the West Coast. He's on the West Coast. He's from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Sacramento's right there. He can go to the Bay Area. Zach LaVine is one of the worst contracts in the league, according to some people. He could go to the Bucks. Maybe the Pelicans, you know, they get just some salary and a couple picks for their trouble for helping navigate that deal, right? Let's see. My bad. Say, what about Zion? Again, from what I know, Zion and Joe Dumars are pretty cool. Like they partners. But that don't mean that they won't trade his ass. That don't mean that they wouldn't trade him. You know what I'm saying? I just think that they relatively cool. Zion, when you look at what's happening with Ja and his contract situation, you know, he's close to being due for an extension. He's played fewer games than Zion. The situation is very toxic and tumultuous in Memphis. You know, if you're Joe Dumars and everyone's looking at you crazy for what's been happening, you know, with Derek Queen, everyone's looking at you crazy for what's happened with the trade. Do you really want to double down on that and trade Zion for next to nothing? Do you really want to double down on that and trade Herb Jones for maybe one first? Do you really want to double down on that and give Trey Murphy away? That's why you know, I don't like to insult people, but there's a lot of stupid motherfuckers in Pelicans media, because even the use, in my opinion, the misuse of the term untouchable is kind of crazy to me, right? Because an untouchable is someone you wouldn't trade no matter what. There's only like 1 or 2 untouchables in the NBA, and Luka Doncic ain't one of them. So if Luka Doncic ain't untouchable, what makes you think Herb Jones, Zion, and Trey Murphy are untouchable? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's very few untouchables in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, probably Jokic, maybe Jaylen Brown, and that's a maybe, and probably Anthony Edwards. Other than that, it's not a lot of untouchables in the NBA. So that's just a crazy word to be upset about. People say, oh, there's 4 untouchables on the team. No, they aren't. The Pelicans just haven't received the offers that they would like at this stage, in my opinion. If they get a great offer for any of those guys, them dudes is gone, in my opinion. Trey is probably the closest to being untouchable, but we'll see about that. Now, Sebastian, I never heard anyone say that because they're close. I think a lot of things people are saying as it relates to, even with Don Guillory, as it relates to Jaren Jackson Jr. or Joe Dumars, I think a lot of that is people kind of projecting how they think the front office feels, or projecting on how they themselves feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, they feel like Jaren Jackson Jr. should be up for trade. But I've talked to people in Memphis who feel like they wouldn't trade Jaren Jackson Jr. right now. Like, they're not, like, keen to trade him. Now, that could change rapidly, but I literally just spoke to someone the other day that told me that wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? Trey, yeah, Jokic, Wemby, Cade, SGA, and those are like real untouchables. Like, no high-level role player is untouchable unless it's fucking David Griffin or something like that, in my opinion. Now, there was also something as it relates to Yves Missi. Like, if you follow me on Twitter, Yves Missi, you know, the writing, in my opinion, has kind of been on the wall for quite some time. Like, the writing has kind of been on the wall for quite some time with Yves Missi not getting any playtime. Recently, he's gotten more and more playtime, and he's looked very impressive, especially last night. He was incredible last night. One of the biggest reasons they won that game. Now, the Indiana Pacers have some interest in Yves Missi. They've had some interest for months now. They've also historically had interest in Jose Alvarado. I don't know if they still have that interest, but they used to have interest in Jose Alvarado. They got a lot of role players, interesting guys. Ben Mathurin being one of them. Ben Mathurin, I think he's going to be a restricted free agent this offseason, if I'm not mistaken. Man, I was a fan of Ben Mathurin coming out of college. I really wanted them to draft Ben Mathurin over Dyson Daniels. Like I like that was the guy I wanted. I'm pretty sure that was the year. I really wanted them to draft Ben Mathurin. He's a scorer guy. He can shoot from beyond the arc, but all he really offers is scoring. He's 23 years old, if I'm not mistaken. But here's the thing: if you're the Pelicans, there's no such thing as you trading for the perfect guy, right? Because the perfect guy wouldn't be available to the Pelicans. Whoever you trade for has to have some issues. There's gonna be some development there. Like it's just going to be an issue. Like, there's no perfect candidate out there who's dying to come to the Pelicans. It's going to be a problem. So we're going to go into Brett's show episode a little bit and see what he said.
Another interesting name real quick before I throw it back to you, Tomer, I want to bring up is Yves Missi from the New Orleans Pelicans. He's an interesting name that isn't one that the Pelicans have definitively said that they will not trade, like Trey Murphy, like Herb Jones, Zion Williamson ahead of this trade deadline. He's available right now, and he's going to be one of the best big men on the market if they truly do want to move him, because he still has plenty of years left on that rookie contract. He's coming off an all-rookie season. And the Pelicans, I have heard, do have interest in Benedict Mathurin from the Indiana Pacers, which aligns a little bit with what the Steinline reported recently of Missy being on the Pacers' radar. So you kind of connect the dots here. Well, the Pelicans like Mathurin, the Pacers need a big man. They've been talking with the Pelicans. Maybe there's something there.
Man, and full transparency, man, I would not be eager to trade Yves Missi, dog. Like, I ain't gonna lie, son. And I'm a fan of Ben Mathurin. I just would not be super eager to trade Yves Missi. I feel like you need bigs. You need quality rotational bigs. Right now, it's just even Carlo. You know what I'm saying? But I am a fan of Ben Mathurin, and right now he's out, quote unquote, out with a thumb injury. Let's see if I can pull up his numbers real quick. Right now he's out, quote unquote, with a thumb injury. But I mean, when he was playing this season, he was balling. When he was playing this season, he was balling. Now, of course, he showed up versus the Pelicans and didn't do anything well. But when he was playing this season, he was balling. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up these numbers right here. Okay, I got some of his numbers queued up if y'all can see this. So this season, he's averaging 17 points on 13 attempts. Now, earlier this season, he was averaging like 20. But, since he's come back, he's averaging almost 18 points on 13 attempts, shooting 42% from the field. That's not great. But shooting 36% from the three-point line, which is something the Pelicans desperately need. 36% from beyond the arc. Career 34% shooter. I guess that's really based on his first year not being a very good shooting year. But basketball, no thank you. So shooting well from beyond the arc, 87% from the free throw line, 5 rebounds. God damn. Bro averaged 5 rebounds. That's a damn. I ain't gonna lie. That's a that might have changed my perspective a little bit. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know he averaged 5 rebounds? Man, hold on. Hold up, son. Like that. Hey, wait a minute. 5 rebounds. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive, man. This dude could be a quality guy at the 2. Oh, man. Thank you, Michael Morgan. Appreciate you as well, fam. Appreciate you. Fire J. Oh, shout out to Fire Deborrego. He said, Eva, best big. I agree with you. Say, only way I give him Missi if they take Jordan Hawkins bum at. Yeah. Whoo. See, that my trade, man, I would see if I could just, because I know they need a center, but I would be like, y'all don't want championship guy Kevon Looney and Jose Alvarado? Y'all don't want them? Or y'all don't want, championship guy Kevon Looney, Hawkins in a second? Y'all don't want Kevon Looney, Hawkins in a second for Ben? Because Kevon Looney was a championship starter. He started on, 2-3 championship teams. He got rings. He got jewelry. He played in the finals like 4-5 times. What y'all trying to do? Y'all ain't even playing Ben Mathurin right now. Ben Mathurin has played 24 games. He's only played 24 games. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Now his usage is a little higher. Wait, my bad. Spectacular said Would you give up Carlo for Ben? Whoa, what's up with your L? Oh my God, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. Honestly, I wouldn't give up. Well, I don't say I wouldn't. I would reluctantly give up Carlo for Ben because, well, what's that? B Thomas? Yeah, we live, homie. I would reluctantly give up Carlo for Ben. Let's see what Carlo averaging right here. Hold up, Carlo. He the only Carlo in the league. Ain't that some shit? He the only Carlo in the league. Carlo shooting 40% from three. Carlo shooting 40% from three, man. 40% from three on 1 attempt a game. If he could get up to like 3-4 attempts a game, I think he could shoot about 34% from three. See I would have to keep Carlo. Carlo's 24 years old. Look, it's easier to find another Ben Mathurin than it is to find a Carlo, and that's the tough thing. And it's kind of easier to find another Eve as it is to, find another Carlo. It just depends on how you feel about both of these guys' upside. You've needed a quote-unquote rim running stretch big for quite some time. You kind of got one in Carlo, even though he's being misused by the coaching staff. You got a competent rim defending big in Eve Messi. This is just his second year. He's on a rookie scale deal. Right now, if you're the Pelicans, you need cheap talent. Ben Mathurin's due for, a contract, extension. I don't think he gonna get no major money, but he gonna get at least that Kuminga deal, I would think. Now let's put up cue up Herb's shit right now while we talking. So quality dividends say if the Pelicans did get Ja, what does that mean for Fears? I don't think it means anything, honestly, because I don't think Fears is gonna be ready for at least another 2-3 years. He's a 19-year-old point guard. Really plays more like a shooting guard at the moment. He's not going to be ready for for a couple of years. He needs some time with that second unit. Needs to really learn what it means to be a point guard. He's had some peaks and valleys like all young point guards do. But he needs some time on task. Let me see. Also, I'll say this. It's kind of like. Whoa, what up, Bree? It's kind of like with what the Pelicans did with DeMarcus Cousins. And I think the Ja Morant situation is comparable to the Pelicans situation with DeMarcus Cousins. Whereas you got DeMarcus Cousins and you just like, all right, this is our major free agency acquisition or what have you. We just gonna, try to build up some chemistry toward the end of the year, and we game planning for next year. We gonna just try to hit the ground running this offseason to acquire shooting and talent, and next year is gonna be the year for us. Like, cause if you did get Ja, and looking at his price right now, it's gonna be pretty cheap. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could see them just taking DeJounte. Because you got to think, because Memphis is concerned about their pick as well. So they don't really need anyone who's going to play at this stage. Even though DeJounte may be ready to play, I would see if they would want DeJounte, salary, and maybe a protected first. After that fight video came out, you might not even need the damn protected first, to be honest. But I would see if they had, if they would take, damn, that's why it would be nice to have seconds. Like, if you can move Jose for multiple seconds, and you can send those seconds to Memphis to kind of sweeten a Ja Morant deal, I think you do that, and that'd be nice. I ain't gonna lie, that'd be nice. Because at this point, let's just play hypotheticals here. Let's say you got Ja Morant, Zion, hypothetically, Trey Murphy, Eve Messi starting at the 5 probably, and let's say maybe Carlo at the 4 or someone else at the 4, maybe. Someone who could shoot at the 2 or 3. It depends on where you got Zion at on the court. If you got Zion at the 3, maybe you got Ben Mathurin or somebody at the 2. You know what I'm saying? But that's a lot of offense, boy. That's a nice team. In theory, that's a nice team. And defensively, it's like, unless you got perimeter defense. Is for example, Herb is a solid perimeter defender. Has it really made a difference this year? No. Like if you're a team like the Pelicans. How you're going to be solid defensively is if you can get defensive rebounds. One of the reasons Eve's plus minus has looked like as impressive as it did, his net rating, is because he's pretty solid at not giving up offensive boards. So, like, that's why the team was ranked as high as it was defensively when they had Jonas Valanciunas, not because Jonas was an incredible rim defender. It's because he was a rebounding machine. He didn't give up rebounds. Let me say, Tennessee said, I don't think it wasn't them to get Ja. He's so problematic, but the Pels can't be picky. Yeah, the same thing with Boogie Cousins, man. You know, they had a reporter tell Boogie Cousins straight up, like, yo, Boogie asked, like, yo, do you think you want me to come back? Dude said, no, I am good. And they brought Boogie back anyway. I'm surprised Kuminga is still on the Warriors, to be honest. Today the 15th, man, Kuminga might be gone by the night. I don't even know if Kuminga at the game. And now Kuminga has formally requested a trade. And with Kevin O'Connor putting out that thing about Herb having mutual interest to the Lakers, personally, I believe it. And also, that's like him formally requesting a trade. So that may drive down his trade market a little bit, because there's two lines of thinking here. One, that can make the Lakers say, all right, look, he's interested. Let's go make it happen. Like the Lakers are trying to convert their pick to multiple picks. Like maybe they'll call OKC, say, look, give us a couple picks. I think OKC got like 4 picks next year. It's something fucking crazy. Like, yo, just give us a couple picks for next year, or give us a couple picks for 26, 27, whatever, and take this here pick, and we're going to just do it like that. Or it could be looked at as, look, man, Herb won't go to the Lakers. That means, you know, he wants out of New Orleans. So all that untouchable shit go out the window if he wants out. Let's call them and see what's popping. Because what you don't want, look, I don't have no, I know that he kind of did this a little bit before with the shoulder to an extent, but I don't know if Herb just like, look, man, I ain't playing again. I'm not playing again. Because there's no way you sit out that many games, come back for the Lakers, go out with an injury, come back and finish that game, and then now you just out again. The Lakers game, how many games ago was the Lakers? It was a while ago. Herb at this point, if I'm not mistaken, has missed more games than Zion and Jordan Poole. That's a lot of motherfucking games. Because Jordan Poole ain't played for like damn near a month. And Zion was out for quite some time. So maybe he just not playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It might be a situation where he's just not playing. I'm not saying it is or it ain't, because I don't know. But it could potentially be a situation where he's just not playing. Ethan says, Zion the only player getting on the plane today with full Pelicans gear. It's funny because I saw, what they say, like wheels up or something. And I think it was Jordan Poole and it might have been Herb Jones on that side. And I'm like, man, neither one of y'all might not be here come March. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who really knows? B. Thomas say 2026 we need as much talent as we can get. Oh, yeah, it matter. Absolutely. It's like, if you feel like Yves Missi is a rotational big, just go get one more. Like, go get another rotational big. That way you would have 3 with Yves Missi, Carlo, and maybe one other big who's maybe a surefire starting caliber big. Maybe you go find that this offseason. Or you find it via trade, what have you. Because Walker Kessler is going to be a free agent this year. I think he's going to be a restricted free agent this year. So maybe you clear some salary space and you're like, look, we got to throw the bag at Walker Kessler. We about to throw the bag at him. We're going to offer him $20 million a year. We're going to offer him $20 million a year. Let's do it. Like, maybe that's the plan, to clear some space. And you like, look, Walker, what's up? Because right now the Pelicans got, if they just stand pat, like hypothetically, right? Let's just say they stand pat. They got Jordan Poole, $30 million expiring this offseason. You got, if the team chooses to exercise this option and keep Kevon Looney at 30, so that's, at $8 million. So that's close to $40 million right there. Then you got Hawkins. That's another 7. Let's just call that 45. Just for argument's sake, let's just call it 45. If Jose opts in, which he might, that's 50 right there. That's $50 million right there. And expiring money. $50 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could take on anybody's contract, like bad contract for that. Say the Pelicans actually have cap. No, they don't necessarily have cap, but they got some money expiring. I'm not even gonna say a lot of money, but they got some money expired. They don't have any like really bad contracts on the books. It's all about how you perceive Herb Jones's contract and how you perceive DeJounte's contract. Other than that, they don't have any bad contracts on the books. At worst, you got Looney's $8 million coming off the books. You got Jose, he got a player option. That's about $4 million. He's potentially coming off the books. You got, matter of fact, I can show y'all. Hold on, give me 1 second. So I can show y'all real quick. Yes, indeed. Yo, while y'all in here, make sure y'all smash the like button. Yes, indeed. Say Pelicans need some cheap shooting. Facts. Hey, what's up with you, Jess? You say you don't think the Pelicans gonna make any moves? Well, they said they wanted to be aggressive, but it wouldn't be unlike the Pelicans to sit on their hands. That's another thing I saw. I'm not saying you, Jess. I saw kind of people saying, like, you know, the Pelicans can't just sit on their hands here, man. They're not doing anything. It's like, what the fuck you want them to do? January 15th just got here. What you want them to do? It's literally January 15th. Like, what deals do you think they got popping right now? Like, it's pretty much nothing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too much that can be done. Like, the Trae Young thing is there, of course. Like, we saw that happen, but ain't too much that can be done. So, all right. So, Jordan Poole. Ooh, man. Jordan Poole going to be $34 million expiring. Whoo. I think at minimum, they got to move probably Looney and Jose at minimum. Because they know they need talent. And going into the offseason, if Jose just decides to opt out, it's like, all right, you got $4.5 million there, maybe. But I wish I had my cap calculator here so I could see exactly how much space they would have this offseason. So just looking at it, let me see, can I move to the joint? Hold up. So they under the tax. The Pelicans really not in a bad spot. Hey, look, it's Juvenile. Hey, the Pelicans not in a bad spot financially whatsoever. It kind of feels good to not be in a salary cap crunch moving forward, because you got a lot of, like, look, man, Sadiq, like, I saw someone ask about Sadiq Bey. I think that was Tennessee asked, right? Tennessee. I don't think Sadiq is going personally, just because the relationship with him and Troy Weaver, that don't mean he won't go, but the relationship between him and Troy Weaver, I think at best you getting a protected first. That shit might be like top 20 protected. Also, he's had a really solid season for that contract, coming off a devastating ACL injury. Didn't play at all last year, kind of found his rhythm. Now, the one downside with Sadiq this year has been, damn, that 3-and-D shit kind of out the window, because the three, aside from the big one he hit last night, hasn't really been there like that. You know what I'm saying? Quality Dividend said, how much you think Bay's contract would be if the Pelicans resign? Probably something similar to the current contract Herb is on. And that depends on how he plays next year, because if he goes into next year and he stinks, he could fuck around and be right back on the same contract he on. Because you see, like, a lot of mid-tier guys, they ended up having to leave the NBA, period. Like, Rashawn Holmes, gone. He's about in the same tier as Sadiq Bey. It's just Sadiq Bey was, like, where he was picked. But Rashawn Holmes, gone. Brandon Boston, gone. Who else? There's a lot of guys that just didn't have jobs. Russell Westbrook couldn't get a fucking deal. Russell Westbrook ended up signing a non-guaranteed minimum contract with the Kings. It's a lot of guys, Matt Ryan in Dubai, like similar tier guys. Like, if you don't, it's like musical chairs. If you don't hurry up and get a job in the NBA, they will spend that money and you will be gone. Kind of like, man, what was the dude, bro? The dude, he had 3 names. Motherfucker had 3 names, and he played for, he had the tattoo under his eye, light-skinned guy. I think he played for Golden State, if I'm not mistaken, the Kings, and maybe Dallas. But is it Cauley Stein? It might have been Cauley Stein. I'm not sure. But he was a person who had an offer, went to think about it. By the time they called him back, the money had dropped. You saw Jeff Teague say, yo, like, a team called him. They had like $25 million for him. Cauley Stein. It was Willie Cauley Stein, I believe, right? Thank you, Louisiana gal. I think they had like X amount of million for him, right? They called him back, said, oh, nope, never mind. We ended up giving such and such this money. Jeff Teague, another guy, he said on his interview, such and such team, I think it might have been when he went to Milwaukee, had X amount of $1 million for him. An hour later, that number dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to move fast, and this, especially in this new climate where people are very conscious of these aprons and overpaying. You know what I'm saying? I think Sadiq Bey can play himself if he want. You know what I'm saying? Bree said, "You think Poole have value to get moved?" Not right now, Bree. I don't think he does. I think because of his cap hit next year, it makes more sense to trade for him in the off season, where he can, he'll officially be an expiring then, and he'll just fall off the books. Because right now, if he was playing well, if he was even playing decent, a championship caliber team might say, "All right, look, we gonna put together some junk and give y'all a second for him. We just need some reinforcements, right?" But since he ain't playing well whatsoever, it's kind of like, what's the point? And with like these larger contracts, with the Trae Young shit, that's kind of like a bit of an anomaly. But with these larger contracts, they're very difficult to move in season. Very difficult to move in season. Because now you got the apron. Like the Cleveland Cavaliers, their hands are tied in a lot of ways. Because you got teams like that can't really aggregate salary. So it got to be a 1-for-1, and you can't take back more money than you're sending out. There's a lot of difficult things with how this new CBA works. Say the Pelicans desperately need talent. Andretti say the Pelicans desperately need talent. I don't know where Ryan Anderson at. Ryan Anderson's career should have lasted a lot longer than it did. He just got caught up in a weird window. If he was still in Ryan Anderson, if he was still in the league right now, he'd still be playing. But he got caught in a weird window. Like, it's something about those undersized 4-5s that you can find yourself in a bad spot. Like Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is a solid player. Hit big shots in the playoffs. He's not even in the rotation right now for Indiana. And he wasn't in the rotation when he was healthy. Squallow said AD available, you want him back? Nah, AD would retire. He would I'm not even sure AD hurt, to be honest. I don't even know his son hurt. But AD will retire. AD will retire, in my opinion. But yeah, looking at this contract, bro, like going into next year, you got Jordan Poole, who's an expiring. DeJounte got a player option. So see, and this is the tough thing about the DeJounte contract. Since it's a player option and not a team option, it is a descending contract. But since it's a player option, it's not necessarily counted as an expiring unless DeJounte have like some type, unless he throw a tantrum and he just like, I just want to be out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be out of here. I'm opting out of any team he goes to. I want to control my own destiny. So that's the reason why aside from the injury, that's one of the reasons why the DeJounte contract is difficult to move, because he still has multiple years. Because this green represents a player option, if I'm not mistaken. You got Trey Murphy sold up with a short, like tiny ass escalation of $2 million. Tiny shit, it's tiny to us, but Zion shit never really guaranteed. You know how that go. Herb next year, even if he is on the books, he's making a little under 15. Before that math, seriously, for Herb Jones, this is a massive jump. From 15 to 20 million for Herb Jones is a significant jump. That's $5 million more when he's turning 29 years old, right? And he got a player option. This shit is insane. So you stuck with Herb for quite some time. I hate to use the word stuck because it has a negative connotation to it, but you're stuck with Herb for quite some time. Make sure y'all hit that like button, fam. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let's see. Kevon Looney, $8 million team option. He's probably out of here. Only way you keeping Kevon Looney is if you're trying to trade him. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee say Herb and Jose. I think Herb and Jose, and you think Messi going by the deadline. My instinct tell me you right, Tennessee. I ain't gonna lie, dog. My instinct tell me you right. I don't want them to trade my dog Eve, man. I like Eve. I think Eve has shown some promise. I'll be disappointed if they traded Eve, even if they did get Ben Mathurin. I would be disappointed. Like, I would be disappointed because I like Eve, and I feel like Eve got a raw deal this year. Pause. Louisiana Gal saying, unless they get 4 good first-round picks, there's no way I trade Trey. Look at how long they have him on the contract at a good number. Yeah, I don't think Trey is officially on the trade block unless they come like, yo, we got 4 picks for you, and we're going to give you a swap, and here go a decent role player. Like, I think people might be looking at Trey like, yo, this could be the next Paul George. Like, I'm telling you, because if you look at with like they could be looking at him like that. Like, man, he been in that bonk ass system with Willie Green, playing with Zion, who always hurt. Brandon was always hurt. Once I get him over here in my system, he 25, locked in for a contract. Man, we gonna get it popping. Like, that's how front offices may feel. Jeremiah Fairs, you already know, rookie scale deal. Derek Queen, rookie scale deal. Jordan Hawkins, I understand that extension because I saw a couple people kind of make some comments about, not in here, I'm talking about online, on Twitter, about the extension. You kind of, if you're the Pelicans, you do that extension so you have tradable salary. You feel me? You need tradable salary because I'm gonna just keep it real, bro. And I love my city, but free agents are not beating down the door to move to Louisiana and move to New Orleans. Like, they just not. Truthfully, football, that's different. But even now, who's the last major football free agent the Pelicans signed? It used to be. I'm sorry, the Saints have signed. It used to be if they get you on airline in that office, you're gonna be a Saint. But you had people like Adama Kasu. He good. A couple other people like came through the building, did the interview, went about their business. I think the magic is gone until you start winning again, in my opinion. Bree say Eve ceiling higher than DQ. It's definitely higher defensively. I don't want to say that offensively. Because I don't really know what I think Eve's ceiling is. Like, I don't know what I think Eve's ceiling is, truthfully. Jovenile say I'm honestly surprised they pulled Justin Reed. I think that has something to do with the Louisiana connection, truthfully. And then Justin Reed, he got his rings in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. He was saying thing with Teron. Like, I get to come home. I got my rings. I ain't really got to do too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a hometown hero. I think that had a large part to do with it. And, NFL, not for long. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, somebody offered me this money, I'm taking it. Like, I think that might have something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to misrepresent their intentions, but shit, the Saints signed. I mean, they signed Jarius Byrd, and we don't even need to go down that rabbit hole. But let's see. Don Guillory is not a fan of Trey Murphy. I see that. Oh yeah, Chase Young. Now Chase Young came along later in the season, but that's another person like, this might be the last big check I get. Like, when you had a person like Nick Fairley sign, it's like, all right, that makes some sense because the Saints were still competitive. But motherfuckers signing with the Saints now, they just trying to ride people blind. That's basically what it is. Louisiana Gelsey, you saw that Draymond video of him talking about Trey basically begging his team to submit an offer for him. I think they do have interest in Trey, but I don't think they listen to what Draymond got to say at all. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? And I don't mean no disrespect to Draymond, but I really think they can't wait to Draymond retire. Like, damn, we can't trade him because it ain't gonna work. Like, it just ain't gonna go over well. But we just need you to retire. Like, I really think that's what's happening. Because you gotta think Draymond was an advocate for Jimmy Butler, and that shit is not working out. That shit is not working out, period. And I wonder if Memphis is kind of like, when I spoke with Dotson the other day. Y'all know Dotson covers the Memphis Grizzlies, like, and he's in the building. He talks to the Memphis Grizzlies, talks to the players, has a relationship with the players. And one of the reasons he said that he think the Ja situation is boiling over a bit is because Memphis never really went out and got high level talent on the perimeter to add to Ja. Like, they had some interest at a certain level for Brandon Ingram, had some interest in DeMar DeRozan, had some interest in Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler told him, get out of here with all that shit. So now, luckily, they landed Cedric Howard, and I think Cedric Howard is balling. But, Andretti say you see Capella with Eve. I can see that. I think Eve probably would benefit with a solid point guard, because I thought Eve and DeJounte had quality chemistry. I don't know if I see that level of athleticism with Eve, but Eve got some finesse to his game, man. Eve had 2 nice up and under lay-ins this season. Like, Eve got some finesse to his game. And you can see him, he's a lot more confident and competent and comfortable right now. 3 C's: competent, confident, and comfortable right now. Like, like even like earlier in the season, all he had was that one move early in the season. Back it down, shoulder shrug, hook shot, and it was going in. Now you see a person that's like, all right, let me just do what I did last year. And, I can show a couple things of my game, but I don't want to go rogue. Like last night, he had a drive, got all the way to the rim. He was right there. Like, y'all remember if y'all was in the chat, right there, he's at the rim. He like, nah, let me make the smart play. In my opinion, the smart play would have been laying that motherfucking ball up. But he's like, let me make the smart play, and he kicked it out to Carlo in the left corner. Carlo misses the layup. But I'm like, nah, Eve, you got to shoot that shit. In the next possession, he shot it, but he missed. But, it's getting there. It's his second year. The only thing that makes me think that they could have some interest in keeping Eve is that, that short roll was nice, Bree. See, Poole, he always start off the game passing well. It's just as the game goes on, the passing kind of gets shaky. The thing that made me think they would have some interest in keeping Eve is Troy Weaver likes large front court players. I don't want to say the B word, but he likes large front court players. You got Carlo who's showing some promise. You got Eve Messi who's showing some promise. I don't know whatever they see in Hunter Dickinson. I think they see him as like a diamond in the rough. But he's the promise to stay his ass in the G League. Now watch Hunter Dickinson go somewhere and be a fucking baller, and we just be looking stupid like, damn, we had him. But again, look at the guys that he drafted. He drafted Duran, and he had a choppy beginning. Had a solid rookie year, weird second year, but now he looks really good. He looks like damn near all NBA. Isaiah Stewart, one of the best defensive bigs in the league. More of like a grunty, do-it-all, dirty type guy. I think if you could just add one more quality big to this rotation, you don't need a superstar fucking big. You don't need a max. You don't need Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think it would be nice, but you don't need Karl Anthony Towns. You just need a competent big play, competent rim defense, competent rebounding. Like that's all you really need here. Like let's go back to Herb's stats, right? On the season, Herb's played 23 games. He's averaging 9 points on damn near 9 shots. Goga Batadze would be incredible here. Like to me, if you had a rotation of Goga Batadze, Eve Messi, and Carlo, to me, I would love that center rotation. That's been one of my targets for a minute. I think Lito and Chris might have did a show on him a couple of off seasons ago when he got that extension. Because Orlando still got too many bigs, in my opinion. They still got too many front court players. Because the Jonathan Isaac shit, that shit never really worked out. You got Goga Batadze. You got WCJ. It's just they need to trim some fat and add some more shooting. And I hope Goga is on the market. But all right, so let's look at Herb numbers real quick, man. Herb is oh my god. Herb is he's played 23 games, averaged about 28 minutes. Shooting 39% on 8 field goals. Let's just round it up to 40. Let's just be nice. 40% on 8 field goal attempts a game. 33% from your honor arc on 4 attempts. This is more in line with his career numbers. He's averaged 33% 3 out of 5 years. This is more in line with his career numbers, with the one anomaly being the 41% shooting year. I guess we could say post the shoulder injury, the shooting has percentage has subsided, but it's not like he was on this steady incline. It was bad, great, bad, right? On 2% shots, and I say this all the time, bro. Herb got to be one of the most blocked players in the league. He got to be one of the most blocked players in the league attacking the rim. Gotta be. Juan, what's happening with your D for real? Say I feel like Hunter is a poor man, Zach Edey. Hunter Dickinson? He's not as large as Zach Edey, though, pause. But Hunter Dickinson could be interesting. I mean, I got to watch more of him in the G League, to be honest. I'm probably not being fair. Louisiana Gal said Spo didn't play Khalil Ware in the second half today after benching him. Yo, I'm telling y'all, bro. I said this on Pro Pal Stuff. Bruh, Spo can't stand Khalil Ware. I don't know what the fuck it is. He hate Khalil Ware. Like, I've seen this before. It's like a Monty Williams, Marcus Thornton type situation or like Willie Green with certain guys like Trey Murphy. Like you see the talent in the players, but it's something happening that's getting lost in translation to where they just don't vibe. And he cannot stand Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware can go out and get 20 and 20. And Spo gonna be like, yeah, he missed that box out in the second quarter. Now, the crazy thing is they let the Celtics walk them down. And for like the last 2 minutes, neither team could fucking score. Like, neither team could score. And it was wild to see. It was wild to see because the Celtics did not play well. Anthony Simons really brought them back. Basketball say, you think the Raptors are a good playoff team? I watch a lot of Raptors. I don't think the Raptors really good, to be honest. I think who they played last? Who they played last? When they played the Sixers on the front end of that back-to-back, the referees kind of gave them that game. I ain't gonna lie. The referees really gave the Raptors that game. That game that went into overtime. Then they won. They won last night, I think. I just think one thing, I'll say this about the Raptors. As a person who watched the Raptors, and I like a lot of players on that team, they're really good at beating teams they're supposed to beat, like injured teams. If you injured and you play the Raptors, they probably gonna bust your ass because they beat all injured teams this season. Oh, and they hit that game winner against Charlotte. But I think the Raptors will get swept in a series versus virtually anyone in the East. That I just don't think the Raptors are good, truthfully. He said, "What if they get AD? Man, you gotta trust AD to stay healthy." I don't know if AD hurt now. I ain't putting, I ain't insinuating anything. But that injury sure looked kind of weird. But I seen AD get a concussion from Austin Rivers slapping him in the face. So I don't know what AD bones made out of, but he's still a great player when he's healthy. Let me see, get to a couple of y'all comments, man. We're gonna get up out of here. But what do y'all think? Let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think about this deal? We gonna just go ahead and we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna get up out of here. What's the let's assume Austin Reeves is off the table. What's the worst deal you would take back from the Lakers? What's the absolute worst deal you would take back from the Los Angeles Lakers? Because I had a trade. I don't know why I posted it at, but I had a trade. Some shit. Let me see. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I can pull this up real quick. I had a trade. Go to Fanspo. And we're going to do this. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see the Fanspo? Let me know. All right. So let's go to the Lakers real quick. Y'all pardon my big ass head and my yellow hat. Happy Carnival season to those who celebrate. All right. So for me, if they could get them 2 picks from OKC, let's just assume 2 picks from OKC are in the deal, right? Just hypothetically speaking. I would want, because I liked him coming out of college. I think he's another physical presence, monster athletically, could give you a lot of physicality. He's kind of like a larger version of Micah Peavy, in my opinion. If I could get a dude who was their 2nd round pick last year, and you say they're trying to get rid of Rui and Dalton, I probably would take Dalton. Damn, Dalton 24 already. Dalton been in the league 1 year. Did Dalton get his fucking doctorate? How long Dalton was in college? How many times Dalton got kept back? But and mind you, is another thing to keep in mind. The Pelicans don't have a roster spot. So a 2-for-1 is kind of out of the question if they don't create a roster spot. So just hypothetically speaking, this is just hypothetically speaking, right? I do. Oh my God. Gabe Vincent expiring, I guess. I do Gabe Vincent as an expiring and 2 firsts. What say y'all? I do Gabe Vincent as an expiring and 2 firsts. Would y'all do that deal? Let me know. Cause that dude, let me tell you, that dude, he was kind of nice coming out of college. I'm hoping that I can have some 2nd round luck with him. Damn, though, Herb already 27. That's wild. But what y'all thinking? I do Dalton. I mean, I do Gabe Vincent, and maybe they want to keep. I mean, maybe the Pelicans want to keep Gabe Vincent as a veteran point guard type guy moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you bring him back on like $5 million or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Say, who got hurt and who? In this deal, I'm presuming they creating a roster spot by moving somebody else somewhere else. Say, do you want Dalton Connect? I would take Connect. I probably would prefer. I probably would prefer Adu over Dalton though. He's younger, more upside, cheaper. I probably would prefer him. Physical beast, monster physically, very strong. If I'm trying to build a solid defense, him and PV on the perimeter, they would be fucking terrorists because this dude physically is awesome. Like he's a beast. I think he played for Arkansas. If I'm not mistaken, it was Arkansas. And maybe he's your next Herb Jones. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? That's a tall order, but maybe he's your next Herb Jones. Because at this stage, Herb Jones is a one-time all-defense third-team guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not overestimate what he currently is, because is what have you done for me lately, right? Bree said as long as PV don't shoot. Yeah, and look, you could go into the offseason. You just cleared $11 million from your books. With this deal, you go into the offseason, you cleared $11 million. You could probably sign 2 mediocre-ass shooters and add them to your team. $5 million each. You know what I'm saying? And that's not accounting for some of the other people that's going to be falling off the books. So this would be an interesting deal. Now, let's clear this and let's go here. Let's go here, right? Let's go here with it. Now you got the Knicks. The Knicks, I think the Knicks are getting Jose Alvarado, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. It just seemed like the writing on the wall for the Knicks getting Jose. It kind of do just seem like the writing on the wall, and I'm at the point where I don't really give a fuck, cause I don't even know what's Jose. Anybody know what Jose injury designation is? I don't even know what the injury is. I don't even know what the injury is right now. But let's just say it's if you're the Pelicans, I think the Knicks can't take back more money than they send out. Again, the Pelicans don't have a roster spot, so that puts you in a tough spot. So it probably would have to be GY, right? It probably would have to be GY. So if it was GY, this kind of sucks. But if it's him, and for Jose straight up, and maybe he got an oblique injury. Yeah. He said get Mike Conley and Dillingham. I don't know how you get both of them, but I know Dillingham is he was reportedly available. I would like Dillingham because that's the type of guys you gotta like hit on as far as like distressed assets who haven't lived up to the high pedigree guys, but at the same time, how you develop Dillingham and Fears. You know what I'm saying? 2 small guards, it'll be tough. So the deal would have to be something like this dude and Jose for like, I don't know, man. Maybe you could get these 3 seconds. Maybe you get the Wizards protected first. That would be nice. It's protected 1 through 8 though, but so the Wizards are keeping that pick. Or maybe you get, or maybe the Knicks give you their first. Maybe, I don't know. But this deal seems kind of whack. The other iteration of this deal is GY off the table, and you get Colic, who's another small ass guard, and maybe Pacome or something like that. But nothing special happening. There's nothing special happening. Who that pick, that first really represents multiple seconds. Yeah, he could be a net. I would trade. The deal I had proposed was Jose and Hawkins straight up for Cam, because they watching that game last night. We saw that like they kind of bench Cam at the end. They not fucking with Cam Thomas. They want Cam Thomas up out of there, and he wants to be up out of there. So I would help him. I would help him. I have Cam playing the motherfucking 2 or something like that. So, worst case scenario, he walks this offseason and you just created a bunch of roster space. Who cares, right? Worst case scenario. But I don't think Cam Thomas about to get no major payday this offseason either. I think he going to get like maybe 12 to 15 million. Because you barely played this year. Like, I don't think he about to get paid either. So this trade will work. You know what I'm saying? Trade will work. Save you some cap space. Helps create a roster spot. And if Cam wants to go about his business, let him go on. But also, Cam got a, what's it called? Not a trade blocker. Something alone. I forget the term. But he has that. A no trade clause where he can choose where he wants to be traded, if I'm not mistaken. Now, another deal here would be that we discussed earlier is the Pacers and the Pelicans, right? So let's just go ahead and they got Obi Toppin on that deal for 3 years. Boy, that deal is not gonna age well because they already don't like Obi. So I don't know. So let's say you got Benedict Mathurin. Man, fuck that. I'm offering Jose Alvarado. No, Benedict Mathurin wasn't in that draft I'm thinking about. It was when I said I wanted Benedict Mathurin over Dyson. I think that was Benedict Mathurin over Jordan Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was that draft. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong as a motherfucker. It could have been Eve. But, so Jordan Hawkins, Jose Alvarado for Benedict Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin is not playing right now. They used to have some interest in Jose Alvarado. They don't want to pay Benedict Mathurin. Jordan Hawkins is already locked up for that following year for $7 million, and he's a similar player. Of course, he's not as good. So Ben was in the Dyson draft. Okay. Wait, how the fuck? So Shaden. Okay, Shaden Sharp went 7. Okay. So yeah, Jose and Hawk for Benedict Mathurin. And I don't think nobody gets no picks in this one. I don't think nobody need a pick in this one, honestly. If I had to give him a pick, no, I wouldn't. Because to me, Jose represents at least 2 seconds. So in theory, it would be him in 2 seconds. Say who that advisor say, how about a trade for Ivy? Okay, let's look at Detroit. Look at Detroit. Now, the thing with Ivy is due for a contract extension as well, if I'm not mistaken. He's due for a contract extension as well. And my offer would probably be Ivy for Hawkins because $10 million. He's a shooting guard, a bit of an undersized shooting guard, kind of a rim guy. But he got some upside, still only 23 years old, same age as Jordan Hawkins. I think he was picked, 4 in that draft, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I remember the Pelicans liking him when he was in the draft, and then when he got to the league, the Pelicans no longer had interest. So let's say Jordan Hawkins and probably Jose. Because the Pelicans, if I'm not mistaken, they like 1.9 away from the luxury tax. So let's say Jordan Hawkins and Jose, because I'm not giving you nobody else. I'm not giving you nobody else. It's gonna be Jordan Hawkins and Jose. Nah, you're not getting Herb for no fucking Jaden Ivey. Like, nah, not right now. And I'm a fan of Jaden Ivey, but no, I'm not doing that. Now here's the thing with Jaden Ivey. That's a tiny ass backcourt. Cause I don't know who the point guard is at this stage. But let's say Trey, Zion. I don't know. I don't know. Jay and Ivory at the 2 at 6'4". That's a tiny backcourt. But you got guys like Quickly. You got guys like Maxey, Brunson, who want large guards, but they typically run at the 1 and not the 2. But oh well. I would do this deal. I have Garland out right now with a toe injury, but Darius Garland, you got small guards. Garland, what, a 2-time All-Star at this point? I would do this deal. I imagine that Jaden Ivey is unrestricted going into this offseason. Now, let's take a look at Jaden Ivey's numbers this season. Real quick. And we'll close with this. All right. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. So, this is not a great deal. I mean, Jaden Ivey is not playing well right now. I know he played better last year before his injury, but coming off an injury, 23 games, I don't know. You really will be betting on upside here. You really will be betting on upside here. D for real, I think the Kobe White thing was more of a possibility this off season because I'm not really sure how they make the money work right now. It would have to be a 3-team deal if I'm not mistaken. I think Kobe White making like what, 17 million or something. I'm a fan of Kobe White. I would love for him to be on the Pelicans, but I think Kobe White is a gamer. I think he making what, like 17 or something? No, he making 12. Okay, well, they want a first. They gonna want a first for Kobe White. You willing to give would you be willing to give an unprotected first or a protected first up for Kobe White? That's the question. And then you got to give Kobe White a contract extension. I don't know. Because Kobe White, he going to want like 20 something million. So it's like, would you be willing to give him a contract extension? I think the only way you can land Kobe White is if you find a way. If you can find a way to get Patrick Williams and stuff to the Warriors and get Kuminga to the Bulls, maybe they'll give you Kobe White as a thank you. Because there's no way the Warriors getting the first for Kuminga at this point. There's no way the Bulls are going to find someone to take on this crazy-ass contract they gave Patrick Williams. But if you can find a way to help them out with it, I don't know. I don't know. I think with Kobe White, his next contract is what I'm worried about. And Kobe White is an awesome player, but his next contract is really what I'm worried about. I don't think there's a way to do that. If he had like 3 years left or something, I think I would do it. But since he only got 1 year left, he gonna want a nice contract after that. I don't think this upcoming free agent class is that great. Let's take a look at the upcoming free agent class. I know I keep saying this is going to be the last thing, but this is really going to be the last thing. Let's take a look at this upcoming free agent class real quick, and we'll see what's happening. What y'all think about the idea of trading for Kyrie Irving? What y'all think about the idea of trading for Kyrie Irving if Dallas decides to just blow the team up? They don't even fucking have to blow the team up, to be honest. But if Dallas decides to say, all right, look, that's it. Wait a minute. This is... I guess it's the 26th year. What the fuck are they doing? Because this is definitely not right. Let's see. So that's showing 27. Spot track is kind of shaky. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I prefer to use Fanspo when I'm doing a lot of this shit. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do Fanspo. But yeah. So what y'all think about potentially adding Kyrie? Who that? You say you love it? Yeah. I mean, I think he'd be the ideal role model at the point for I don't even think they'll let me do it. I think he'll be the ideal role model at the point for Jeremiah Fizz. I think that's who some people compare him to. By some people, I'm not included in that number. I don't think he's I don't think Jeremiah Fizz has. I don't see Kyrie. That's not what I see. I see potentially Jeff Teague, but I don't know. All right, this shit not working. Maybe they got hacked or something. Whatever. But all right, yo, I appreciate y'all tapping in with me, man. Hit the like button, share the show. But consider becoming a member. We got some new content dropping tomorrow. Keep your eyes open. Look, today is the 15th, so to know them phones ringing. Today is also Herb's first, eligibility to be traded, Kuminga, a few other people. I don't know, man. Herb already been ruled out for Friday. Jose's out. I don't know, man. It's interesting. The Pelicans have some reported interest in Ben Mathurin. That's something I had suspected, but now it's seemingly being confirmed. Let me know what y'all thinking, man. Leave a comment. I'ma holler at y'all. We gonna tap in for the game. If the game tomorrow, then we gonna watch the game tomorrow.